Good morning, everyone. This is the detention docket for the 323rd District Court on January 19, 2021. In compliance with the Texas Supreme Court Emergency Order number 33, we are conducting in-person proceedings. And we are not conducting in-person proceedings. Instead, we're using Zoom. To comply with the open courts provision of the Texas Constitution, we are broadcasting these proceedings on YouTube so the public may observe what goes on inside a public courtroom. The court does expect everyone to behave appropriately for court. It's still a court setting. So that means please not be in bed or laying down, use lavatory, domesticated animals walk across the screen. People are expected to have their cameras on for this, unless you're an officer of the court. If, let's see. Josephina, no one wants to look at your finger. Josephina, please behave appropriately for court. Don't. Josephina, this is the third time. Please do not put your hand in front of the camera. Remove her. All right. And so, let's see. Make this image broadcast, behave appropriately. Yeah, and please refrain from having bright lights from behind your head as it shadows out your face. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with Haider Al-Bakhari.
Yes, sir.
All right, Haider. Good morning. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Purpose of this hearing is to decide whether to keep you in custody or to release you. If I keep you in custody, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You do have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney is Mr. Gladstone. We have him pending the application.
You know where he at?
You know how to speak English? Where he at?
You know where my lawyer at, sir?
Where he at?
Where's my lawyer?
Mr. Gladstone, are you here? Okay, Mr. Gladstone's not here, so Mr. Adniji is going to step in. Where he at?
Excuse me, sir. Who my PO?
Your PO. This is about deciding whether to keep you here or release you.
Yes, sir.
So, Haider, you've been here before. Oh, geez. You're 16 years old. Started when you were 13 with a weed case. You got probation for controlled substance at school when you're at 14. Arrested for robbery. You had some problems on probation. We had to issue multiple warrants for you. You got probation again when you're 14 for criminal trespass. We gave you a drug test when you came in. You're positive for weed. Mr. Dotson, is he currently on supervision? No, you finished December of last year. All right, so you just finished your probation.
Yes, sir.
So, let's see. January 12th, police dispatch for a shots fired call. When they went there, victim, before they were leaving Damien's apartment, going to Corey's apartment, saw a red Malibu. Damien told police that Trayvon had been staying with him and his mother until yesterday. They got into argument. So, yeah, so they saw Trayvon's Malibu driving by. Trayvon was in the back seat. 2 Middle Eastern males in the front seat. And then victim said that he saw a suspect known as Iraq holding steering wheel with his left hand while aiming a pistol with his right hand. 2 victims were not hit. The 2 vehicles in the parking lot were hit. Bullet fragments were recovered.
Boy, them hoes lying,
Please had. Yeah, so, Haider, this is a detention hearing. I'm just deciding whether to keep you here or not. All right, you have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Okay. I advise you to use your right to remain silent. Police had a cell phone dump from Brianna Carrera.
What'd you say?
Rat came up associated with Hader al-Bakhtari. They found the Malibu, located the vehicle, pulled it over. Hader was, Tara's hanger was found inside the vehicle. Okay. All right, so Hader, it looks like you were seen driving a car, shooting a pistol at other cars. And I don't know if you know me, but I have a hardline policy about kids with guns, especially when they use guns. Do we have a parent here?
Oh, Jan, he said he couldn't get off work. Talk to
All
Dad.
right, well, that's what happens. And so, Hader, I'm going to go ahead and detain you. So this one, I feel like you're a danger to the community as well as yourself. All right, thank you.
Can I say something, please?
I advise you not to. If you have a question, your question.
I just got a question because I need to.
You mind if I finish my sentence?
Yes, sir.
You do mind?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I won't finish my sentence. You're detained. Thank you, sir.
Oh, no, you not. No,
like Anthony Allen.
I'm confused. I said he could finish it.
Anthony Allen.
Can I talk to my lawyer, please?
Okay, I'm detaining you.
I'm Muslim. They don't understand me.
We got the next young man coming, sir.
Thank you. Wait, mister, I need you here.
I'm here, Judge.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Allen, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. And Mr. Beaver is your attorney. I think I saw Mr. Beaver.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Beaver. All right, so Mr. Allen, you were here in April for evading arrest, and you got DPP. All right, so we brought you in, and you're positive for weed while you're on DPP. And so let's see. On Saturday, police were dispatched a stolen car call, and they talked to the victims. He'd been in the store for 2 minutes when he noticed his vehicle driving from the parking lot. He had left the vehicle running with a key inside. So there's videos that black male dressed in blue hoodie, dark pants, white shoes, got in the car, got to the car, in the car, and drive away. So while he was filling out the theft affidavit, received a radio call, stolen vehicle had been found. Nearby police unit was canvassing, found the vehicle, followed it to a residential area. Vehicle sped up, turned on the lights, and the vehicle drove through an intersection, tried to make a turn, crashed out into a mailbox. Two black males exited the stolen vehicle, began running. Police identified themselves, chased on foot, but they kept on running. We got the passenger returned to the crash site with him. Driver was located nearby by the helicopter, and the person matched the video as Anthony Allen. See the place where under arrest for theft of property, $2,500 to $30,000, evading arrest with a vehicle, evading arrest on foot. So, well, it looks like DPP was the wrong idea. All right, Mr. Allen, at this point, do we have a parent here for Mr. Allen?
Good morning. I do, Your Honor. Stepfather's here.
All right, stepdad. You know, if this was just this is a lot simpler, I wouldn't be as worried. But the fact that he's going on a car chase and crashes out, you know, good thing no small kid was walking there on the mailbox right there where the car crashed in the mailbox. So at this point, I can detain your stepson, right? I need to make sure that we don't have deeper behavioral issues, that you can actually follow the rules and be respectful. How is he at home with you?
Terrible.
Okay.
Mom is not here for a reason, and he understands why mom is not here.
Okay, so he has an attitude with mom as well?
Yeah, we've been trying to work with Anthony. Honest God, truth, we've been trying to work with Anthony for the past few years. Me and Anthony haven't always had the very great relationship, but what I have been doing as a stepfather has been there for 13 years, basically raised him, was tried to stop a lot of this from getting to where it's at right now. We've been through a lot. I lost a lot. I lost everything behind Anthony. I lost my job at Miller Brewing behind Anthony. I was on probation where me and Anthony it got physical between me and Anthony because he was always out of control. And I tried to detain him, and fortunately the state stepped in and I got in trouble for putting my hands on him. And I learned my lesson from that. But everything that occurred that's been going on, I've been trying to stop. Now, one of the passengers was one of his 14-year-old little brother, Anterion Allen. Now, I found out everything that happened. I was on my way coming back from college, dropping my oldest son off from college from Kansas when I get the call that these two was in juvenile. Now, I was able to pick up Anterion, and I was told that his brother pulled up in a car, and he told him to come outside at the house, and he said it was his friend's car. He told him it was his friend's car, so Anterion, his little brother, asked if he can go to the store, if he'll take him to the store. His little brother, not knowing that this was a stolen vehicle or nothing. His brother is a good kid. He plays, he's never been in no trouble, and we've been trying to stop this from getting this far. I had his money taken off the first time because I thought Anthony was going to do good to go to school and get him on a basketball team and try to.
Stepdad, forgive me for interrupting. All right. We're kind of going outside the scope of what this hearing is about. All right. But Anthony, I just say to you, it speaks volumes to me, the fact that your stepdad is here in the worst of times when nobody else is. And hopefully to you, that speaks something to your heart about how he feels, how your stepdad feels about you, right? The fact that he's here showing up for you, despite all the conflicts you've had with him in the past, he's still stepping up and he's actually taking the time to come here. A lot of parents, not even step parents, but biological parents, they don't even do that. So that's something to think about. But Anthony, this is a direct result of your decision. It has nothing to do with your stepdad, what he said. I'm just concerned about your decision-making if I was to release in the community. So for right now, I'm gonna keep you here. We'll see how you behave here. See behavior levels, if you can follow the rules, if you can be respectful to the authority, then that tells me that you deserve another chance to show me that you can follow the rules at home and be respectful to the authority at home. But really, I'm putting this on you now, okay? All right, thank you, Anthony.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Brad Coleman. All right, Mr. Coleman, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Adniji is your attorney. Good morning, Mr. Adniji.
Morning, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Coleman, 15 years old. Let's go over your history. You came in when you were 10 for an intervention. Then you are 11 years old, you get arrested for burglary of habitation and criminal trespass. You get out, 5 days later, you get arrested for stolen credit cards, which you got probation for. 5 days later, before you got probation, you get arrested for burglary of vehicle. You get out, the next day you get arrested for terroristic threat. You get out, the next day you get arrested for terroristic threat. At this point, you're placed on probation. And you're brought in on warrants for violating probation 1, 2 times. You're still 12 years old, you get arrested for another theft of property and stolen credit card. Well, 5 days later, stolen credit card, and a day later, burglary of habitation, which you got probation for. Then you had 2 more probation violations, then you're still 12 years old, get arrested for theft of property. 5 days, you get out. 5 days later, arrested for theft from person. You get out 3 days later for another theft case. So you seem to be doing okay for a year, because now you're 13, you're arrested for burglary of vehicle, you get out a month later, you get arrested for another burglary vehicle, which you got probation for. And then 2 months later, you get arrested for possession of controlled substance, which you got probation for, and went to placement. So now you're back in our community after placement. I'm going to ask Mr. Crawl, did he successfully complete placement?
Your Honor, it shows completed, and the length of stay he was in there, it looks like it was a successful completion.
Okay.
That was from February to July.
Of what year?
2019.
2019. Okay. So back in February of last year, you're brought in for stolen vehicle, which intake rejected. And so now on Saturday, I guess. Police responded to a shooting. Witnessed a black male wearing a yellow shirt got into a fight at the club and started shooting into the crowd, hitting 2 people. Jared ran, got into Ford Fusion with 3 other individuals. Police removed all the individuals from the vehicle, and he was the only one wearing a yellow shirt. No weapon was located. Do we have, Mr. Qual, do we have anything identifying, like how do we know Gerard was leaving the club?
Give me a second. I'm looking at this. Your Honor, it says that there were numerous eyewitnesses that witnessed the fight in the club, and that they were being pushed out of the establishment when he came back in firing.
So witnesses identified Gerard with a gun?
Yeah, I have on this first report 4 small paragraphs, and paragraph 3 state numerous eyewitnesses.
All right. So is he currently on probation?
Your Honor, he is not. He is pending an offense for failed to ID back from May.
Okay, so he's a pending offense now. He's identified shooting into a crowd. Well, Gerard, I think you know me from before. Mom, are you Mom?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where he gets a gun from?
No, I don't.
Okay, that's Gerard.
I don't know how he got into a club.
You know me. I'm sorry?
I said, I don't even know how he got into a club at 15.
Right. Yeah, that's disappointing as well. All right, Gerard, I think you know me from detention hearings before, but I take it very seriously when a child has a gun, and even more serious when a child uses a gun. And so eyewitnesses put you there. So I'm going to go ahead and detain you, and we'll see if and when I let you out. I'm not even going to consider letting you out unless you're a level 1 outstanding. All right. So that's what you need to get with at the very beginning, and then we need to decide from there. So do what you can while you're here. Thank you, Gerard.
Thank you, Judge.
Layla Elder.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Good morning. All right, Layla, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, the law says you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to be silent. And you have a right to an attorney. All right,
Layla, put your hand down and listen to the judge. He'll give you a chance to talk when the time comes.
Yes, sir.
So you're 15 years old.
Yes, sir.
And back in November, Oldham City dispatched a theft call. Mom and your older sister said you had stolen her wedding ring and sister's purse and wallet. You told Mom to go check the pawn shops. I remember this one. All right. So then November 23rd, Oldham City responded to domestic. 2 days before, Mom said you and her got into an argument. And she said you flipped her over, causing her to hit her head and lose consciousness. It was a CT scan, and she had a concussion. So 2 days before Christmas, you came in for a 10-day hearing. Judge Porter released you on electronic monitor, sweat patch, and a hair follicle test. Hair follicle test was collected and deemed insufficient with an insufficient sample. So we have not got another hair follicle test. Sweat patch returned positive for benzodiazepines. You were not prescribed medication that would test positive for Xanax. And so we have another sweat patch that's at the lab.
May I please say something?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
So I guess my question, Mr. Victorson, so she is in detention. Did we assign a DTA because of
We
it?
did, Your Honor. I wasn't as clear on that report as I should have been. Judge Porter issued a directive on the 13th after a progress report was submitted describing what had happened with the sweat patch. And this is the first detention hearing since the DTA was executed.
All right. Do we have a parent here?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So are you dad?
Yes, sir.
All right, Dad. Dad, does your daughter have a prescription for Xanax or benzodiazepines?
No. Well, I'm not sure if the other one's a benzo, but not for Xanax, no.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you.
Not for Xanax, no.
Okay. All right. So it looks like your daughter is getting drugs off the street. And so she's using drugs despite being on a sweat patch, instruction not to use illegal substances. If I remember correctly, you're the one that went ahead and asked me for the hair follicle test, right?
Correct.
Okay. So yeah, they took a sample. It turns out the sample wasn't enough for them to test. So they're gonna have to do another hair follicle sample so we can go back and see what other substances she's using. Sir, did you have a question for me?
I took
Layla, stop talking.
Sorry.
Dad, did you have another question for me?
Yes, sir, if you don't mind. It was my understanding that the original drug test was as she came out and that she's taken another one since. Whether or not we have the results of those, I guess not. But my question is, I don't see the one incident for the Xanax being an issue. She was great throughout the entirety of it. We were all caught off guard by the original drug test that came back. So I was hoping that we'd have the results that would vindicate her and maybe give her an opportunity to come home today. I just wanted to let that be known.
And so I understand, and I'm glad she's behaving well. And so my concern is kids are using street drugs, and that's a problem. Here's the thing. A lot of people think that you have all these quote unquote gateway drugs that go to bigger things like cocaine, heroin, things that we think of as street drugs. The problem isn't necessarily the drug itself. The problem is the criminal thinking, right? If Layla is taking Xanax or benzodiazepines and acquiring them on the street, that means she would have access to other harder drugs. And that would also mean that she feels like she can break the law without getting caught. Right? So while parents tend to be forgiving, that's what parents are supposed to do, the law isn't very forgiving. It's either you're following the rules or you're not following the rules. So this is one of those things where I'm a little bit more callous, I guess, than a parent would be. But the fact that she was behaving and things were going well, that gives me hope to think that she deserves another opportunity to go ahead and go home. Right? So the thing right now is I want to go ahead, now that she has the benzodiazepines, wait for the hair follicle test so we know that, and wait for the next drug patch and see what happens from there. And that tells us what the extent of her use is. Layla, I know your hand is raised, and so if you have a question for me, I don't mind answering.
Layla, stop.
Do you mind if I finish? Please allow me finish, okay?
Sir.
I don't mind you asking me a question, and I'm sure your attorney doesn't mind me answering a question, but if you want to tell me something, I'm pretty sure your attorney does not want you to tell me anything, okay? So if you have a question, Layla, please let me finish my sentence, all right? Please let me finish talking, I'll give you a chance. A question means it starts with who, what, when, where, how, why. Okay, so if you have a question for me, Mr. Youngblood has always allowed his clients to ask me questions. So do you have a question or do you want to tell me something? Okay, McComber.
Do you know if my prescription would test me positive, sir?
I don't understand what you said.
Do you know if my prescription would test me positive?
What you said?
No, Your Honor, it wouldn't. She's been prescribed an SSRI, which is not a benzodiazepine.
I've done 3 UAs since I've been in here and I tested negative for everything, sir.
Right, so the benzodiazepines your body will process that and metabolize it in 72 hours. The sweat patch monitors you 24/7. So that means at some point between the UAs, you took Xanax or benzodiazepines, and that's why you tested positive. Your prescriptions will not test positive for Xanax.
I truly believe that this is just a misunderstanding because I wouldn't take Xanax to jeopardize myself to come back in here, sir.
All right. Now, it's entirely possible that you didn't do so willingly, but the science doesn't lie. Okay, you did take Xanax, so that's why you're here. All right. Okay? And mentioned, you can't take any kind of street drugs or any medication that you're not prescribed.
I don't even have a phone, so I don't know how I would get it.
Okay. Now again, this is turning to conversation and not a question and answer. So, Layla, we're going to wait. We're going to see what happens. Mr. Victorson, when we submitted the other sample on the 11th, you said? The second sweat patch?
Yes, Your Honor. She's due a new patch in a couple of days. I'm expecting that second report to be back sometime this week.
Okay. So we should get that in the next couple of days, and then we'll find out if you've been using since. I am open to the idea of releasing you, Layla, but if you're positive and using street drugs, then that's just,
I don't have a way to get them, sir. I'm telling the truth.
But, sir, ma'am, I don't know that. You would, even though you shouldn't, you would be surprised at the number of kids that tell me there's no way I could get a gun, and they end up getting a gun. Okay, so Layla, we're going to detain you for now, and then we'll see what the result of this patch is, and that would give me an idea whether to release you. Mr. Victorson, there were no errors, no issues with electronic monitor, though, was there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, Layla.
Love you, Layla.
Jeremy Hauser. Ed, can you ask them to be quiet or leave the building? All right, Mr. Hauser, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding, oh no, you've been here for 10 days, so I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you here, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to be silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Daniels is your attorney. I don't think, Mr. Dan, there we are. Mr. Daniels.
I am here, yes.
Your beard is growing in nicely.
Thank you.
I'm kind of jealous of that. All right. All right, so Jeremy, this is your third 10-day hearing. And let's see, December 1st, you ran away from the foster. RPO convinced you to return to the foster so you get a new placement. We got another call from OCAK saying that you ran away again and missed out on the placement opportunity. And so you returned a couple hours later. PO spoke with you again, said that any more incidents, and they'll have to give me a progress report. And OCOK said they would transfer you to an emergency shelter with CPS workers. December 1st, about 9:40, we got a call saying you ran away again. So December 3rd, they filed a violation of your probation, and we did a placement search. Currently, you're level 1 outstanding. You got an argument on January 13th, and you continue to use profanity. So you drop down to level 1 acceptable. All right, so I see a lot of people from OCOK and the department here. Are y'all here for Jeremy?
I am not.
Okay, all right, Mr. Taylor. All right. So what's y'all's plan?
I am not here on behalf of Jeremy. I'm here on behalf of another child.
Oh, okay. Is anybody here from OCOK for Jeremy?
I am not, Your Honor.
No, sir.
So, Mr. Miller, did we notify the caseworker about Jeremy's detention hearing today?
Yes, Your Honor. They're normally here, him and his mother. I'm not sure if they didn't come because the placement search was ordered. They didn't feel like he was going to be released.
Okay. You know, OCOK needs to show up when it's their child. And so, tell you what. So mom lives local, Mr. Miller?
She does.
Well, at this point, if OCOK doesn't come and pick up the child by 3 o'clock today, call mom and say, pick up the child. I mean, if they're not going to show up for these detention hearings, then they can take responsibility for it. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jacob Jimenez.
Sir.
Mr. Jimenez, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, law says you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Sierra is your attorney. Is Mr. Sierra here? Okay. All right. Mr. Adniji, I'm going to ask you to step in. So, Jacob, you are 16 years old. You are... So, Ms. Blair, he's not on supervision, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Arlington PD pulled you over on the 15th for speeding. They could smell weed from the vehicle. Everyone got out. Found several small baggies in your jacket pocket. In front of where you're sitting, you're in the back seat. They found 15 Prazolam pills. The vial marked as THC. There's several unopened small baggies for sale and a scale. They asked if you had anything else on your person. You said no. So you were transported here when being searched. Found weed in your pocket. So now you're arrested for felony possession of a controlled substance in a detention facility. So things actually got a lot worse. You're we have a parent here?
Your Honor, the dad was on the way, but his tire blew out. And I did give him the link and he was going to try to zoom in, but I don't see him on here.
Okay. So none of the other people in the car got arrested, Ms. Blair? The police put all the drugs on him?
One of them was a 17-year-old, which was transported to the adult jail. And then the other two, one was released from detention intake. And then another one was did a field release to the parents.
So basically, if he owned up to the drugs in his pocket, he'd probably be home by now. All right, well, Jacob, here's the thing. I don't have a parent to release you to, so I'm going to go and detain you here. We'll revisit this at the 10-day hearing, decide whether you should be released or kept here. All right? Thank you, Jacob.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, Alexis Martinez. Oh, I'm sorry, Alexis Miranda. All right, Alexis, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. So, let's see. On the 18th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, police were dispatched for domestic. Dad said that he and you got into argument the day before, and he let you spend the night with a friend. Next day, when he and your mom went to pick you up, you and your father began to argue, and you refused to get in the car. So you tried to leave. Dad tried to stop you, and while you're trying to get past your dad, you hit him in the face. When the police got there, you tried to leave again. The police had to detain you, so you brought over here. You have a parent here?
Yes, Your Honor. I have two parents here. Dad speaks only Spanish, but mom can understand and speak English.
Okay, so I'll talk to Mom. All right, Mom, I have some questions for you. So tell me about Alexis. Is his attitude this bad all the time, or is this something recent?
Since 1.5 years.
Okay, what happened about 1.5 years ago?
When he started in high school, the first week, he started with trouble. They catch him with marijuana in the school. He gets suspended. He went to DIP. He never passed DIP. He tried to kill twice his life. He drank some Xanax. He cut himself. He went to Springwood, a mental hospital. We found a psychiatrist. We found some consuls that give him therapy. They kicked him from the school and he went to Excel. He ran away from Excel. They don't want it anymore, so I need some option. I went to the high school again and they told me about this in my Dream Academy. And they told me that we should enroll him there so he don't keep on failing on the classes. So we did that. And then come the pandemic. And after that, everything was okay, but it was not so good. And he asked some permission. His behavior was not so good. And what happened this last week was on Saturday. I was on a graduation. He called me. He asked his father he can go with some friends, that the parents going to come to pick him up. That was a lie because we have cameras at the house.
Mom, I'm going to interrupt you, okay? I'm sorry for interrupting. A couple of questions. You said, which hospital do you go to? Did you say?
Springwood.
Springwood, okay. And has he ever been prescribed medication?
Yes.
What has he been prescribed?
Oh, for a depression. I don't remember the name.
Okay. So what has he been diagnosed with? You said depression. Anything else?
No, just that.
Just depression, okay. And so did you bring the medication with you?
No, he's not drinking anymore. He don't want to drink it maybe 6 months ago. He don't want to drink it.
Okay. Do you remember what it was called?
No.
Okay. So, Mom, this is what I'm going to do at this point. I'm going to refer him a consult with our psychiatrist, all right? And so we'll be able to assess things and decide how we can help him. It seems like there's deeper issues going on, all right?
But the other thing that he's using marijuana now.
Yes, and that's part of the problem. Alexis, what you have to understand, so Mom, I can tell one thing. Look at his body language right now, the way he's sitting, slouching. He doesn't care what we have to say. But
I know.
I'm going to try and do it anyways. Alexis, to let you know, here's the problem is when there are mental health issues, if you're smoking marijuana or THC, that is also a drug. And so that affects the way certain prescription drugs affect you. It also affects the way your brain functions. And so certain people just are not able to safely consume controlled substances or marijuana, okay? And so that's why for you, you're just one of those people. It's just, you just can't do it. You may like it. Other people may be able to do it. You just can't do it just because you have the other health issues, okay? So I'm going to let you know, as long as you're under my supervision, if you're smoking weed, you'll be coming in and out of Kimbo all the way to your 19th birthday, okay? So just, I'm giving you a heads up right now. So I'm gonna send a referral. Doctor comes, I believe, on Thursdays. And so you'll be able to see our psychiatrist. And then if you need a prescription, he'll prescribe one for you. If you don't, then he won't. But I want to watch your behavior levels. If you can get to level 1.0 without taking medication, be respectful, follow the rules, do what you're supposed to do, then you get to go home. But if you're not going to follow the rules and you do it your way, you're just going to stay here. Okay? Now, if the doctor gives you a prescription, you have to take the medication to get to the level 1 outstanding. If you don't take the meds as prescribed, your behavior level will not be 1 outstanding and you will not go home. Okay? All right. Thank you, Alexis. Thank you, Mom and Dad.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Emily Molina.
So,
Hi.
Hi, Emily. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you here or to release you. If I keep you here, then you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Beaver is your attorney. Do we have a parent here for Emily?
I am the OCOK caseworker for Emily Molina, sir.
All right, thank you. All right, so Emily, you've never been here before. You're 16 years old. You just turned 16. Okay. So Hearst brought you in. They're saying on the 17th, you and your companion were found at by loss prevention at Dillard's, taking clothing and then going to the restroom, carrying a shopping bag. When you came out, you noticed the bag was a lot bigger. And your friend was wearing different clothes. Both tried to leave the store, detained by loss prevention. And the police questioned you, gave false names and date of births. And eventually told the police you'd run away from foster family in Harris County. So back in March, Arlington PD referred you for an assault case over at junior high. The SRO was contacted to a fight. Victim said that you came up behind her, grabbed her hair, and started punching her in the face, knocked her on the floor, and continued to hit her. your surveillance, and it showed you approaching behind and started hitting her in the head as she fell to the floor. All right, so I guess the question for OCOK is, what's the current, does the department have permanent managing, or is it temporary, or what's going on there?
Yes, Your Honor. We currently have permanent management conservatorship of Emily Molina.
Okay, so how long was she a runaway for?
This incident for about a week. It'll be a week this Thursday. She ran on the 14th, January 14th. And from last year, she's had 4 runaway incidents.
Okay, do we know how she got to Tarrant County?
We do not.
No. I probably, like you, Ms. Demas, have a big problem with 16-year-old girls running up 35, ending up in Tarrant County. So
yes, Your Honor.
So what county, so was parental rights terminated, or is it just PMC?
Yes, Your Honor. Parental rights are terminated.
Okay, what county did that happen from?
Hood County.
Hood County. All right, so technically her case is still, Hood County has ongoing continuous jurisdiction?
Yes, Your Honor.
So then let me ask you this. She has that assault case from 2020 in Arlington. How did that happen? Was she placed here in Tarrant?
Yes, she was. She was placed there in a foster family home, and then she ran, and that's the reason why she was never present for that fingerprinting. And
so, Ms. Demas, are you in Hood County or Harris?
I am a Johnson County caseworker. I took over this case. It was transferred over from Hood County to me on October 2020.
So are they transferring the case to Hood County, to Judge Walton?
They transferred the case from Hood County to Johnson County. So it is still in the Hood County court. It's just a different caseworker in a different county.
Okay. All right. Okay, so then I'm gonna put this on OCOK. All right, figure out what y'all want to do. If you want to take possession, do you have a placement for her right now?
We do. Brave Hearts Children's Center will take her back indefinitely.
Okay, but I'm guessing it's not a secure facility if she ran away.
That's correct, sir.
So Emily, I mean, I'm at this point now where you can get out of here today. I can release you, but your decision has to be, would you rather be a Kimbo or would you rather be a placement in Harris County? Do you have a choice on this one, Emily?
No,
You don't know?
I'd rather be at Braveheart.
Okay. But you understand if you run away, you end up here, right? And so let me just give you an example. Let's say I let you go back to Braveheart, and then you decide to break the rules or run away or get in a fight there or cause any kind of problems. Then Tarrant County Juvenile Probation lets me know. I sign a warrant. Then Harris County or wherever you are, they'll pick you up. You'll sit in their juvenile detention facility for maybe a week or two until we can come and pick you up. Then you come here and you sit here maybe over the weekend or a couple of days, and then you see me, and then it's harder for me to release you next time. You understand where I'm going with this? You understand that you and I aren't done. Like, we still have business with each other. So I can let you go, but I would only let you go if you're asking me to give you a chance and telling me that wherever you get placed, you're not going to break the rules because you don't want to see me again. Is that fair enough?
Yes, sir.
Is that something you can do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Emily, I cannot imagine what's happened in your life so far. Okay? I'm not pretending that I understand. I'm not pretending that I really know what's going through in your life and your demons and your struggles, okay? I'm not going to insult you like that. What I am saying is the law says there are certain rules and we have to follow the rules, whether we like them or not, whether we agree with them or not. That's the law. Those are the rules, okay? So if you're telling me, even though you disagree with the rules, even though you don't like it, that you can still follow the rules, I will let you go back to placement. But that's because you're telling me that you can follow the rules. And that's telling me that you can follow the rules that you don't agree with, that don't make sense. Okay? Is that something you're telling me you can do?
Yes, sir.
All right. But you understand, if I find out that you're breaking the rules, then we'll have to transfer you back to Tarrant County. You get that, right?
Yes, sir.
Like this doesn't go away just because I'm releasing you. This is still here. And because I can bring you back, that is your reason why you're going to follow the rules down at Braveheart, right?
Yes, sir.
Do I have to worry about you running away again?
No, sir.
Emily, just between you and me, there are many girls I've held in detention just because they run away. Okay? I don't want you to get swept up and caught up and get involved with people that shouldn't be, right? That would take advantage of you. I don't want you to end up found in a ditch in the mountains of New Mexico because you decide to run away and do it on your own way. Okay? I have a duty to protect you. The law says I do. And if the only way to keep you from running away is to keep you akimbo, I will do that. And there have been many girls that I've done that to. You can call me sexist because I don't do this to the boys, but to the girls, I do. Okay? That's my promise to you. You have to understand I'm serious about this. If you run away, I will hold you here akimbo until I am confident that you're not going to run away again. If you don't like it at Braveheart, you need to talk to your caseworker and ask for a different placement. That's the right way to do it. You can't walk out on your own. Walking out on your own will end up with you akimbo for quite a long time, okay? Now, Ms. Demas, I am sure she has no problem finding another placement for you if Braveheart's not working out. That's her job. They can find other places across the state, whether it's fosters or placements, secure, not secure. She can do that for you. There's a right way to get to a different place, and there's a wrong way. The wrong way is to walk out the door, okay? Are you going to burn me on this one? Are you going to make me regret this decision?
No, sir.
Okay, so this is the first time we met. I'm kind of giving you the benefit of the doubt. I'm trusting you on this one, okay? But you understand the next time, if you burn me, the next time I'm not going to trust you because you used your chance, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Ms. Demas, whenever you can arrange transport, you go ahead and take her back. Y'all are welcome to pick her up whenever you can, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Is there a time limit?
How long do you need?
I can go right now in 30 minutes.
Well, I know you can, but how long do you need?
My supervisor is here as well. Ms. Courtney Keyhouse, can you please speak on that?
On her behalf.
Oh, I got called out. Really, as long as we can pick her up by the close of business, and we can certainly arrange that. That would be more than enough time for us.
So how about close of business tomorrow?
That would be wonderful.
That's more than enough time. I want to set a time, but I want to be fair to you. So is close of business tomorrow more than enough time?
Absolutely.
So if I get angry at 5:01 tomorrow, that's not my fault, right? That's on y'all?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So Emily, I'm giving them, I want to give them a fair amount of time. They didn't expect to be doing this morning. So by the close of business tomorrow, I have their word they will come and pick you up to transport you. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ethan Nordyke.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Nordyke, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. You've been here for 10 days. I'm reviewing your case, deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you'll see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney is Mr. Adler. Good morning, Mr. Adler.
Good morning, Judge.
Okay. So, oh, you're with Emily. No, I'm looking at Emily's. There we go. Nordyke, this is the North Hills aggravated robbery in December. So we can say he was walking, approached by an unidentified suspect, tried a handgun, demanded the wallet, threw the wallet and cell phone. Back in November, student who was a victim said he drove to a location to sell weed. And the person he was selling to robbed him at gunpoint. So Ethan, I'm just, kids with guns, you understand that's my thing. You're on probation for robbery already. I'm glad you're level and outstanding. You have been since Christmas Eve, but you're on probation, smoking weed, and picked up for new gun offenses. So I'm very concerned about the safety of you and the community. Yeah, you have a psychological evaluation scheduled for the 25th. All right, Ethan, I'm too concerned about releasing the community. Okay, I hope you understand based on your pattern of behavior. Do we have a parent here?
Your Honor, she was on earlier. That was Josephina that you kicked off. She couldn't get her sound to come on. And so
Okay.
she figure out how to get back on.
Okay. So we have a court hearing coming up. Ethan, I'm glad you're level 1 outstanding. That's certainly something that's important for your attorney. That's you being able to help your attorney make a better case for you. Okay, so please keep that up. Thank you.
May I ask you a question, Judge Kim?
Yes, sir.
Last time on my last detention hearing, you said if I came on one of you, I would have a good argument. But you said you're concerned about my safety. My grandma has cameras inside and outside the house. And if I was on the EM until my court, that should be no big problem, right?
Well,
I'm sure that I can behave in detention.
so what I said was that being level 1 starts the conversation, right, about releasing or not. But you have to understand that if this was just like a shoplifting case, level 1 I'm like, good to go. If this is a family violence case, most of the time I'm like, go home. The fact that there's a gun used in a crime, right, that really keeps me slowing down. I mean, you're looking at not almost 3 weeks of level 1 I personally have to be very cautious whenever kids are caught with guns. Right? So it's not, I don't treat it like any other case. I take kids with guns as serious as they come. In fact, a lot of times I'll take kids using guns in robberies or shootings more serious than a homicide with like a knife. Okay? And even though the results are different, just children with guns is a really, really big deal for me. So I go very slow. I'm very cautious because I have to be comfortable because it's my job to make sure the community is safe. And when children are using guns, the community is not safe. Okay? So keep up the level 1 It's not, since I got here, I've never made a promise. Sometimes I make promises with the kids, like failed ID. Get to level 1 you go home. And I'll make the deal with them up front. I never make a deal when it comes to a kid using a gun. It's a case-by-case basis. We review it every 10-day detention hearing and then make that careful decision. Okay? But I don't make a promise. I don't make a deal ahead of time when it comes to kids with guns. Okay? Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Nordic. Roy Pruitt.
Sir.
Do we have Mr. Pruitt here?
Yes, sir. He's on the screen.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pruitt. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Mr. Mooney is your attorney. Mr. Mooney, I don't think I've seen him yet. Mr. Adniji, I'm going to ask you to fill in for, I'm just going to say, Vinisha, I don't even know what your last name is. Your camera needs to be on if you're going to be in this detention hearing. Otherwise, I'll remove you. All right. Roy, I see your hand raised. All right, so Roy, your attorney is, so Mr. Aniji, I think I'm gonna ask you to cover for Mr. Mooney. Roy, did you have a question for me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's a question, right? You don't want to tell me anything, but you have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's your question?
Am I allowed to go home?
Well, so that's a good question. That's what I'm trying to decide is whether it's appropriate to let you go home or not. All right, Venetia, either you turn your camera on or you need to leave Zoom. It's not a place to observe. If you want to observe, you can use YouTube.
That's not my child on my case load.
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying that if you want to watch, you can watch from YouTube. If you're going to be part of this Zoom hearing, your camera needs to be on. Okay? Thank you. All right, so Roy, that's what the decision I'm making is whether I want to release you or to keep you here. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So I am allowed to release you, but I need to make sure that you will show up at court, that you're not a danger to yourself or a danger to others.
Yes, sir, I will. I promise.
All right, well, let's see. Let me see why you're here. So I guess on Saturday or Friday, you were referred by Arlington. They're at Perimeter Behavioral Hospital. The complainant said that you and another patient escaped and in the process broke a magnetic lock on the door. They said that you kicked the door, breaking the lock. You and another patient were located, returned to the hospital. You had escaped last week, and they wanted to press charges for the damaged door and lock. Contractor said it's about $5,000 to fix the door. So in December, you referred here for an assault. They're dispatched. They talked to the victim, which said you struck him in the head with a rock and made a large bump and was bleeding. He said he stepped between Roy and another adult in order to stop you from assaulting the adult. You hit him in the back of the head 3 times with a rock. And so detention staff released you. Well, so is Mr. Nava here?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. How in the world does detention release a kid who hit somebody in the back of the head with a rock 3 times?
I would say that's a good question, but if he's eligible for release, it was his first referral, and depending on what he scores on a certain assessment, he's eligible for release.
No, they're not my rules.
And he was released to Mr. John Taylor, who's on the screen from TOK.
All right, so Mr. Taylor, you're saying that Kempworth will take him, but he must be mentally stable before acceptance. So is he on any kind of medication, Mr. Taylor?
Yes, he's on 3 psychotropic medications, which I'm not sure if he's been on those while he's been at the center or not. I did ask.
When you say the center, you mean the behavioral center or here?
The jail or the detention center.
Detention center, okay.
When he was arrested, I did ask the arresting officer to make sure those medications went with Roy to the detention center. However, I'm not sure if he's been able to take those or not. I have not been able to get confirmation from any of the staff.
Roy, are you taking your medication here?
Sir, I just asked them this morning about my medication. They said that the officer that arrested me, he said that the perimeter, their medication are in a machine. So they can't just give them to the officer. So they said, why I have been here, your question is going to be answered. Why I have been here, I have not been taking my medication.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Taylor, can you get the medication and bring it here, please?
Yes, I will work on that today.
Okay, yeah, because we want to get the medication compliant but we have to have the medication to do so. So you think you can do it by the end of the day? Is that fair enough? All right, because he's already gone a couple days without it. So I want to try and get him back on track with his meds as soon as possible.
Yes,
okay.
Sir.
Where's his case out of?
His case is out of Johnson County.
Johnson, so that's why Courtney's still here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, so Roy.
Sir.
Did you have a problem taking your medication?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, so let's get you back on the meds. Let's get you stable, and then we can go. I don't want to keep you here for this, okay? But you understand, I've got to make sure that you're able to take your meds. You're telling me that you have. I believe you, but you got to prove it. And that's just part of the process. Roy, you look a little disappointed, but kind of what happens when you walk out of a facility, right? You knew something was happening.
Sir.
Yeah.
I want to go home.
Well, so you're not going to go back to perimeter, right?
I want to go to Kentworth. I feel safe at Kentworth. I really want to go home. I'm fine. I'm on level 1 at the highest level. I've been doing good, sir.
Well, Roy, so this is what's interesting. If you're level 1 and you're doing that without your medication, okay, that says a lot to me. The problem is right now there's a doctor that prescribed this, and they're saying that it's medically necessary for you to take your medication.
Okay, can I go home, sir, and take my medication? I promise I want nothing.
So, Roy, I'm not the judge on your CPS case, so I can't make that decision on where you go. I don't have the authority to do that. There's another judge that does, and so I have to defer to him. Right now, all I'm dealing with is a juvenile case involving perimeter. Okay.
Yes.
So even if I wanted to decide, and I kind of like you at this point, even if I wanted you to go home, I do not have the legal authority to say you go home. I can only decide whether you get released from here or you stay here. Yes, sir. Roy?
Sir, I'm scared. I want to go home.
I don't, the law doesn't let me make that decision. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go to court. I'll take my probation. I'll do community service just to pay that rule. I'll pay $5,000, $5,000. I promise I'll pay it.
But Roy, do you understand that the law does not let me make that decision?
Yes.
Like I cannot make that decision. Like I do not have the authority to say where you go.
Yes, sir.
My authority is whether you stay here or I release you to OCOK. That's the only decision I'm allowed to make at this time. Okay. Yes, sir.
Can you please release me to OCOK? I'm fine.
Well, the thing is I have to make sure you have your medication.
I'm gonna have my medication at my RTC. They're gonna get it for me.
Right, but I have to make sure. So Lake Worth does not want you until you're compliant on your medication. And that's the next placement that they have for you. So I'm willing to give OCOK a little bit of wiggle room on this one, but not a whole lot. Okay? And there are many OCOK people in Tarrant County that will tell you that I'm tough on them, but I'm fair on them. So I'll give them time, a reasonable amount of time, but I'm not going to let them leave you here. Our juvenile detention facility is not a placement. And that's a fight I have with OCOK all the time. I do not treat this like a placement. It's not a placement, but it's a temporary detention facility. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So I have no doubt you'll be fine on your meds. Just take your meds. Mr. Taylor, how long does Lake Worth need him to be medication compliant before they'll accept him?
They just need him to be mentally stable. His meds were just changed Wednesday of last week. So he started different medications Wednesday last week. And so we need to make sure that those are going to work before he.
So Mr. Nava, I see on this report that he's level 2 outstanding. Is that currently, or did he get adjusted up?
No, that's accurate. He's level 2 outstanding.
So in theory, he should be 1 outstanding tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, Mr. Taylor, I'm going to let you know that our behavior level system, if he's level 1 outstanding, that's as good as you can get. I mean, behaviorally, that means he's compliant. He's complying with all the rules in a timely fashion. He doesn't have outbursts. He's not excessively talking back or using profanities. He's not aggressive. He's not getting in conflicts. He's not associating with peers that he's not supposed to. I don't like level 1.0 means you're behaving, right? And so I'm not sure what more y'all can ask. If it's not a medication compliant, but behaviorally compliant, that means tomorrow morning he could be deemed behaviorally compliant.
Okay. Would he be able to, if I can get the medications to you today, he can stay on those medications for 2 days and be compliant with taking that and still maintain that behavioral compliance?
Sure.
And then I can ensure Camp Worth can take him.
Okay.
Or find another placement.
So when you say 2 days, if you got the medication today, would today be day 1?
That would be tomorrow being day 1, starting that medication.
Okay. All right. So Roy, what I'm saying, Mr. Taylor's going to get the medication today. If you take your medication and you're level 1 on Thursday, then you get out of here.
Please let me go home today. Please.
Well, remember, Roy, I cannot let you go home. I do not have that authority.
I've been doing fine, sir.
I want you to understand, I cannot. Like, I do not have that power to let you go home. Okay?
Yes,
even if I wanted to, I do not have that power.
Sir, can I talk to my caseworker really quick?
Not through here. This is a detention hearing. We still have about 10 other kids to get through. Okay?
Yes, sir.
They can call our facility. You can talk to your caseworker.
Can they do that?
Yes. Mr. Taylor, do you mind calling?
Yes, I will call today.
So Roy, just make sure you understand, on Thursday, level 1.0, and you get out of here. Okay? All right. Thank you, Roy.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. Darren Smith. All right. Venetia, I don't know what's happening, but you keep on turning off your camera and going to your profile picture. And this is the last time I'm telling you. The next time it happens, I will remove you from Zoom.
Your Honor.
Yes?
Excuse me. She's a CPS worker for my child. She's texted me and said she's having connection issues.
Okay, so she's a CPS worker?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you can just remind CPS to go ahead and put that in their profile name that they're CPS.
Yes, sir, I
That way
did.
I know they're not a parent.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Smith, I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. Do we have Mr. Smith here? There we go.
There is, sir.
When a kid's brought in, you have to see a judge within 2 days. I have to decide whether to keep you or release you. If I keep you, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney is Ms. Taylor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Taylor. All right, Darren, you've never been here before. What's going on? It's Saturday, 4 o'clock. There's an auto theft call. Victim said she knows her vehicle had been moved and stopped in the middle of the street in front of her neighbor's house. Neighbor said that he saw a black male, later identified as Darren, exit the vehicle after it slowly rolled to a stop. He asked Darren, "Is your car okay?" And he said, "F this car," and ran from the location. So police detained you. Victim thinks that you were able to use a push start, but once you got out of range, it stopped running. So mom is in Tarrant County Jail, so there's no guardian to release you to.
My aunt and my grandpa. I have my grandfather.
Grandfather here?
Not here, but he's in.
He's not here. I can't release you to him, all right? Darren, this is just, decisions have consequences.
That's what
I'm sorry?
I said I ain't never stayed with my mother since I was 4.
Okay, well, I still don't have anybody to release you to at this point, okay? So even if it was grandpa or anybody else.
Staying with them.
Sorry?
Darren.
No, please repeat yourself. Mr. Smith, please repeat yourself.
Oh, I said that's who I've been staying with since I was 4. Yeah. That's really my legal guardian.
Okay, so if they can, we can identify who they are. I can figure out what's going on, figure out what you were doing in that neighborhood at that time of day.
That's where I stay at, 4173 Takata Street.
Okay, so, and figure out what's going on in your personal life, be respectful, following the rules, all those things, then I'll consider releasing you. But at this point, there's nobody to release you to. Okay? So that's just part of it. Decisions have consequences. All right, so thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Taylor. Jakiah Smith. Why is this one? What did you do? This one is don't release without DJ. Mr. Smith, this is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you here another 10 days or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days. Mr. I need you as your attorney. You do have a right to remain silent. Okay. Maybe he was released. Okay. All right, Jakiah, this is back in November. Oh, this is one at Redwood Park. And then, so Bedford had you for discharging a firearm. Oh yeah, caught over by the dumpster. All right, so you're level 3 confined. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you. Thank you, Jakiah. Condera Thomas.
Say good morning.
Good morning, Judge Kim.
Hello, Condera. I'm Judge Kim. This is a detention hearing. I'm deciding whether to keep you here or release you. If I keep you here, you have to see a judge every 10 days while you're here. You have the right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. Your attorney is Mr. Green, who is here. Good morning, Mr. Green. All right. So Sunday, Hearst PD brought you in. Runaway. Oh, this is one with Emily. We have somebody here from OCOK or CPS? Or
that was the Venetia Adamson, the one that was having trouble with her camera, Your Honor.
Okay. Venetia, can you hear me?
It doesn't look like she's on anymore.
I didn't kick her off.
Okay. I know she was having connection issues.
Okay, that happens. Who was? The monitor? Oh, really? Okay. All right, we'll give it. Oh, there's Miss Adams. Yeah, thanks for looking at that. Use your discretion. All right, Venetia, are you here? All right, Andrea, I'm going to start this while we're waiting on Venetia to come back. I'm inclined to release you. You understand, you got a Tarrant County case now, right? So if I release you and you run away again, I can just sign a warrant for you to be brought back here, right?
Yes, sir. I promise I won't run away.
Your Honor, may I provide an update? I'm sorry. She has a case pending in Fort Bend County. With an assault charge, and they were kind of just sitting on top of the case to see how she was doing since she was in CPS custody. And I talked to the probation officer in Fort Bend, and she needs to staff the case with the district attorney to see if they want to issue a warrant for her because she picked up a new charge in Tarrant County. But other than that, she is able to return to the place of where she ran from, according to Ms. Adamson.
If you let JPD out of Fort Bend County also know that we're willing to adjudicate and transfer dispo if they would like that to happen as well. All right, so yeah, just work with them on that one. Look, Andrea, you have to understand rules are rules. I'm stuck with rules, you're stuck with rules. We may not agree with the rules, but the rules are the rules, right? You have to understand that, you know, now that you have this pending case, I can issue a warrant at any time on your case. Right, to bring you back here to Fort Worth, even from Fort Bend County, Harris County, El Paso County. It doesn't matter where in the state of Texas or even another state. Like, I can keep on bringing you back here to Kimbo. Okay, so just I need you to tell me that you're gonna follow the rules. That way, I don't have to bring you back.
Yes, sir. I promise I'm going to follow the rules. I'm not going to run away. I'm not going to pick up any more charges. I promise.
Okay, I will let you know. I know the judges in Fort Bend County. I know them well. Okay. They're very good judges. They're very nice people. They're a lot nicer than I am. I really don't have tolerance for kids that have a pending case that go out and do knucklehead things. Okay? So you may be traveling across the state of Texas in the back of a van, coming back to Tarrant County over and over again because you're pulling these shenanigans somewhere else. Okay? So just remember that. Judge Kim is not as forgiving as the other judges. You don't want to have to deal with me. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll go ahead, Ms. Turner-Hill. We'll go release to the department, but Andrea, just don't see me again, okay?
I'm not, I promise.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, at this point, under Chapter 54.08 of the Texas Family Code, since the further proceedings involve children under the age of 14, these proceedings are presumed to be closed to the public. The court unable to find that the interests of the public or the child are better served by broadcasting these proceedings, we will discontinue the live stream on this. Please allow 20 seconds for the tape delay. I still hear myself on YouTube right there.